Hi everybody! So today I felt inspired to talk to you guys about energy. I want to talk about people who give us energy and people who take our energy away. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is preserving personal energy. So throughout our lives, we work, we go to school, we have family obligations, we have social obligations, things like that. And all of those things are continually taking away from us. And sometimes those obligations aren't adding as much as they are taking away. So what I want to bring up to you guys is to take stock of how you're feeling every day, especially in the morning and at the end of the night. So when you come home from your day, whether it be at school or at work, are you feeling dilapidated or are you feeling inspired and energized? Are you feeling like, oh my gosh, like I just wish I could just stay home tomorrow and not deal with the pressures of school or work or whatever it is that I have to do? Or is it the total opposite? And you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go back and I can't wait to think about more ideas and have more intellectual conversations, things like that. So during those times where you're feeling very, what I like to call emotionally dilapidated, it's important to practice self-care. And self-care can mean many things for many different people. I know that for me, self-care sometimes means doing a little retail therapy, buying some things that make me feel good, helping me to completely remove my mind from those things that have been revolving in my mind all day. Moving it on to something, I guess, less serious. And I know that other ways to practice self-care could be as simple as doing a face mask, taking a bath, playing video games is another good one. Going on a walk, getting out in nature is really positive. And ultimately just spending time to be alone with yourself. And that could also be reading a book or just taking time to make sure that you re-energize those areas of yourself that you maybe haven't given much attention to. So the next thing I want to talk about is this idea of energy vampires. And I know that some of you might be familiar with that idea, but I kind of want to go into the explanation that I know of it. So energy vampires are those people that are what I like to call takers. And I think throughout our lives, we ebb and flow back and forth in between being a taker or a giver. And sometimes that changes throughout the day as well. So a good example of an energy vampire could be a friend, coworker, even a student or, somebody that you go to school with. And this kind of person is somebody that's like, oh my gosh, let me tell you all about me. I did this, I did that, I'm struggling super hard with this. And there's somebody that's always like, let me tell you about me, but they never ask about you. Energy vampires could also be considered people that are always negative. So you can come into work or go into school and just feel great, or even come home and you feel great and you're like, I had a great day, or I'm ready to start this day with a really positive attitude. And they're like, ugh, don't you hate that we're here? Don't you want to go home? Or can't you wait for vacation and just not be here at all? So those are people that instantly just bring down your energy and make you feel almost guilty for feeling optimistic or happy. Or they are people that are just stuck in that mindset of negativity and they want to bring you down with them. You know what I mean? And I know that some of you might already be thinking of oh yeah, Jennifer at work is always really negative. And these are just random names of people, not anybody in real life. Or it could even be honestly a family member, oh my gosh, yeah, every time I come home and I see my dad, he's always just complaining. And even when I have good news to tell him, he never really reacts. He's never excited with me. He's just kind of yeah, that's great, but oh my gosh, let me tell you about how horrible my day was, So that would also be considered an energy vampire. And then the next thing I want to talk about is energy givers. So energy givers are people in your life that inspire you, people that make you feel strong, people that make you feel inspired, people, and I already said that, but it's important to know, people that make you feel beautiful and smart and invigorated. So energy givers will say things like, well, how are you feeling? Or how was your day? Or they will say things like, oh, what was like the best thing that happened to you today? You know, like, and they're people that really have an honest take on your life. You know, they're people that are like, hey, like, have you ever considered maybe resolving an issue in this way instead of that other way that maybe hasn't worked out for you in the past? So these are people that have our best intentions in mind, you know? These are people that want the best for you and have no ill feeling against you. And another important thing to note to bring it back to those energy vampires is that energy vampires can also be people that are, I don't like to use this word, but they're jealous of maybe the light that you bring when you come into a room or when you enter a space. And so they instantly see that light and they want to put it out. So these are people that you want to limit your time with if you can, and at the most and at the best, just remove yourself completely from. And I know this isn't possible in all situations because sometimes energy vampires are people that we work with, people that we live with, people that we interact with on a daily basis. So it's important to not allow energy vampires into your inner circle, which is something I talked about in my last video. So your inner circle are the people that you want to tell like exciting news to. People in your inner circle are people that you want to ask for advice from. People in your inner circle are people that you have your big moments with, you know, like graduating, getting married, you know, those are people that you even want to go to the movies with, or people that you can sit in a comfortable silence with. And then the last note I want to end on is just remember how important you are. I want to tell you guys that it's so important to protect yourself, and I mean that not in a way to shield yourself from people, but to protect your inner self and only allow people that are deserving of your true self to see it. So on a personal level, because I can't speak for you guys, on a personal level, I'm already at that place in my life where I don't want to spend time with people that don't help me be a better person, because ultimately I want to be the best and the most kind and the most inspiring and compassionate person that I possibly can be. I believe that's my purpose, and I don't have any more time to waste with people who are negative, are jealous, are self-seeking, are manipulative. Emotional manipulators are very hard to discern sometimes, but it's important that you take note of how people make you feel after you leave them. And that also falls into the energy vampire category. So I also just like want to say to you guys, remember that you guys are so important, and you guys are worth so much. And if there's anybody that's putting you down or making you feel small or making you feel not inspired or making you feel even not intelligent or not worthy, cut those people out. They do not deserve to be in your life. They do not deserve to be in your inner circle. You are worth more than that. And let me tell you something that I found to be so true. Every time you remove somebody from your life who is bringing you down, the universe brings somebody in who is so much better and so much more invigorating. And it's kind of the universe's way of saying, see, when you let go of something negative, I will bring you something positive to replace it. So you guys, I just want to say, hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to this video if you've gotten this far. I love you guys, and I hope that you have a very happy life. Thank you so much. Bye.